Racial slurs caught on video.
You ain't nothing to me.
And allegations of violent threats.
And that's when they told me that my family was marked and they were going to bury my kids.
He makes up all these allegations, and all they are is false. False.
2 investigates looks for answers and what can be done to keep the peace when racial tensions run high.
A family in Clearlake contacted KTVU after they said they became the target of repeated racial threats over the past year, but no one has been charged.
KTVU's Eric Rasmussen spent more than 2 months investigating this case, and he's here now to explain how it started with a dispute between neighbors. Eric?
Heather and Frank, it was all over the sale of a cow. Now, since then, Daniel Cummins, a black farmer in Clearlake, says his wife and kids have been threatened. His neighbors deny any involvement, but some worry it could make this small town another flashpoint for race in America.
All right, let's feed some pigs.
To watch Daniel Cummins and his family.
Oinkers!
To watch him working his 4-acre farm in Clearlake.
This is the American dream. Come on, B.
It's only human nature to notice he stands out. But even in a county that's 88% white and 2% black,
You ain't nothing to me.
Cummins says no one spoke to him or his family like this until last year.
I think it got serious when I had people come to the gate, identify themselves as white supremacists, and then tell me that my family was marked and they were going to bury my children.
Those were their words?
Oh, exactly.
Their exact
words.
Yeah, that's what all said.
Cummins' wife, Ashley Hathaway, recorded this video of their neighbor's nephew.
I knew that somebody else had to hear what they had to say.
A day earlier, a dispute about who owned this cow between Daniel and his neighbor, Chris Rhodes, briefly turned physical.
He jumped him and beat the crap out of him.
Rhodes and his wife, Tina, talked to us about it. While a police report shows both sides declined to press charges over the fight, the Rhodes said the dispute was far from resolved when we sat down with them.
Daniel, to us, was a straight-up cow thief. And cow thieves in Texas used to get hung.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Okay.
You understand, with the nature of what's being alleged here, what you just said would give people some great concern.
Well, I didn't want him hung. I just wanted our cow back.
The Rhodes say they put up a poster in their pizza shop with these pictures of the cow and Chris before and after the fight with his neighbor. That's when Cummins and his wife say things got ugly.
The white supremacists that showed up at my gate told me that they were sent there for me to return the animal.
And that if we didn't return the animal, that things were going to start getting worse.
The Rhodes deny asking anyone to act on their behalf.
We told our friends and stuff around here, we do it by the law.
As for this video, the Rhodes say their nephew Josh had been provoked by Cummins and his wife.
We shut Josh up.
Do they play that on there?
Do you regret what Josh said?
Yes.
Are you okay?
We do.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No, I'm
we
not
regret
okay
what
with
Josh
that.
says.
Yet the slurs continued online with a message from the nephew that it's far from squashed.
Hi, Josh. My name is Eric Rasmussen with KTVU.
We left messages for the Rhodes nephew.
Josh, I'm going to stay on the public street. I just want to get your take on what's been going on here.
But once we found him, he wasn't interested in talking to us.
Well, what do you have to say about the threats, Josh?
About what?
What about the threats?
What threat? I don't have nothing to say to you recording me.
Another neighbor testified that he witnessed the Rhodes nephew threaten he was going to bury Cummins' kids when the family went to civil court for a restraining order. A judge granted that restraining order against Chris Rhodes, but neither he, his nephew, nor anyone else has been charged with a crime.
It's the first we've heard the information about burying Daniel's kid.
Lake County District Attorney Don Anderson says his office received a case from police alleging a hate crime, but it did not include information about the threats to Cummins' family, so the DA declined to prosecute.
And we would have almost a zero tolerance for any hate crime that occurs in Lake County. But to prosecute, we're going to have to convince 12 people beyond a reasonable doubt.
All right.
Meanwhile, Cummins and his wife say strangers continued to harass them. A letter from the principal of their daughter's school acknowledged concerns about unidentified people who would even wait near the school to bother the girl.
They drive by calling, my daughter's 8 now, she was 7 when it started, and they always drive by calling her a whore.
Cummins and Hathaway say they've made numerous reports to Clearlake Police and even met with Chief Craig Clausen.
Do you feel like the Cummins concerns, complaints are valid in this case?
Yes, that's why the report was written,
and forwarded to the DA's office.
But Clausen says he didn't know about some of the most troubling witness testimony in civil court until 2 investigators showed it to him. He says limited descriptions of some of the suspects has hampered the investigation.
And that's part of the issue with this particular case, is we can't identify some of the individuals.
The Rhodes took Daniel Cummins to small claims court over the cow, which he had already given away. A judge resolved the ownership dispute in the Rhodes' favor and ordered Cummins to pay $350. Since the dispute, Cummins has also received code violations for having too many animals on his farm.
You ain't nothing to me.
Despite this video and the witness testimony, the Rhodes are adamant that Cummins and his family were never targeted for the color of their skin.
He's the guy that called, or boy that called woof, that yelled woof. He makes up all these allegations, and all they are is false. False.
What would you like to see happen?
All of it stop.
For Cummins and Hathaway's kids, it all seems very real.
What do they call you?
Parasite.
This isn't a jacket that I take off. You know, this is on every day. And if it's going unchecked like that, that's a big concern.
Now, we also shared the information we uncovered in this case with longtime Bay Area civil rights attorney Jim Channon. He had no prior connection to the case, but agreed to review the circumstances with us. Channon says it's important to talk about these issues before they have a chance to turn into tragedies. At this point, he says it's up to everyone involved to try to reach a positive outcome.
In this case, I think we just have to tone the rhetoric down, and the police need to be actively involved, not to use force, but to actually be the mediators here.
Now, I just checked back with Daniel Cummins today. He says things have mostly quieted down since we started asking questions in the last several weeks and months. It does sound like Cummins and his neighbors are simply trying to steer clear of each other now.
Well, let's hope that they can find a way to coexist and hopefully move on from this. Eric, thank you.